To start things off, we gotta introduce and talk about when SugarHill was at its peak. Well, to start things off, K-Flock was arrested and charged with second-degree murder at the end of 2021. K-Flock easily was the biggest coming out the city at the time, and with him getting locked up let all his ops have a chance to catch up to the amount of growth he had. That's when the main SugarHill factors and Sha-E-K decided to take over the scene. It started when Sha-E-K dropped the face of the what, which is currently sitting at 9.7 million. Even though we aren't going to mainly be talking about Sha-E-K and the OGs, it's still a huge reason for their rise. But anyways, E.Baby, SugarHill, Keem, and Sha-E-K were all dropping consistently, with Sha-E-K being in his prime and E.Baby dropping some of his best songs at the time. They all decided to hop on a track together called Touch the Ground. That song right there is currently sitting at 7 million views and showed the whole New York the potential SugarHill really had. E.Baby and SugarHill, Keem would continue consistently dropping, putting SugarHill on the map, but this wouldn't last forever. On May 19, 2022, SugarHill, Keem would get booked with the Knocks, but wouldn't come out the same day. This set SugarHill back because they would have to rely on E.Baby. But something much worse would be coming for the Hill. On July 9, 2022, a young boy from SugarHill would be stabbed in a train station trying to run up on an op. With the death of the young boy, the whole city would have their eyes on SugarHill. That's when DD Osama and D. would start to blow up because people wanted to know more about these kids. That's when DD Osama would start to blow up, and his right-hand man's D. With all the attention put on the death of his brother, that's when he decided to start dropping consistently, which would immediately put DD Osama's name on the map. The whole SugarHill would come together to make a song called Everything for Naughty, which is currently sitting at 5.6 million views. People like DD Osama's brother J Star and other people that were close to Naughty like Duty Low, Roscoe G. Baby, and of course DD and D. This would be a start of another career in SugarHill. That song was Duty Low's first song, but right after that song would drop, DD and D. would drop their current biggest song called 40 and 9, which is sitting at 17 million views. That song blew up right away and went straight on TikTok. That's when DD Osama and D. would start to gain fangirls. These fangirls aren't like any other fans. These fangirls would do anything for DD and would constantly make edits of DD, putting his name out there more and more. Over the course of a few months, DD and D. would become the new face of SugarHill because of their age, the death of Naughty, and SugarHill, Keem being locked. But all good doesn't last forever. The 4-1 crew would drop the song Naughty Bop, absolutely disrespecting his name, which would lead to tons of altercations that I would not be getting into. Anyways, DD would pretty much just keep dropping and defending Naughty's name every song. See, this is where SugarHill really started to crumble down, and the OYs would start to not be taken seriously. On November 3, 2022, E.Baby would allegedly commit to suicide. This would be one of SugarHill's biggest L's and would have a huge toll on not just SugarHill but New York drill in general. Tons of people would start smoking on E. and make fun on how he passed. One of these people would be Dougie B and much more. Sha-E-K, Duty Low, and Hemi would drop a song to remember E.'s name. A lot of people agree that Hemi was the only one speaking from the heart, while Sha-E-K and Duty Low were just trying to protect his name. In the end of the song, you can hear them diss Dougie B's father, and diss him for being shot in the leg. This is where SugarHill would get tons more attention after the death of E. and people like Duty Low, DD Osama, and D. would just keep going up. But you remember that unstoppable trio I was talking about in the start of the video? Well, now it's just Sha-E-K left, and E. is dead, and Keem is locked up with no sign of freedom anytime soon. Within that same year, 2/3 of the trio is now gone, leaving it all up to Sha-E-K. But much more problems would start to happen over the next few months going into the new year. With the start of the new year, OY and the OGs would start to have problems, and deads would start to get mentioned. This is the start of No More OY OGs, which was the group that ran most of 2022. OY OGs was formed because Sha-E-K decided to choose E.'s side instead of K-Flock's. At the time, E. was more lit, and it seemed to be the right answer. This means OYOGs was only linked up because of the friendship of Sha-E-K and E.Baby. This means that E. dying would simply mean that OYOGs no longer has any real friendship, so of course tension would easily start. But E. and Sha-E-K were not the only friendship. PJ Glizzy was pretty cool with a lot of OYs, especially Keem because they're locked up together. But since both of them are locked up, the OYs and the OGs that are not locked up did not care for those friendships that are behind bars, leaving the locked up OY and OGs in a tough spot. Keem's friends would diss PJ's deads and PJ's friends would diss Keem's deads like naughty. But Sha EK and E-Dot were cool before he died, so Sha EK would limit Courtland and the OGs from dissing E-Dot. This is where Sha EK would start to show real colors, because in songs he would say OYK but defend E-Dot's name. But limiting Courtland and the OGs from dissing E-Dot didn't last forever. Some Courtland rappers like EBK Choppa would diss E-Dot in a song, which would lead to Sha EK popping out in Courtland looking for OGs that dissed E-Dot. Nothing much really happened, but this video is about SugarHill, so let's talk about their current situation. With DD Osama and D-Dot running SugarHill, if they were to fall out, it would all be over. With DD Osama getting way more fame and attention than D-Dot, fans started to speculate that D-Dot was starting to get jealous. D-Dot was apparently mad over some show, leading to DD Osama's brother J-Star and D-Dot's mom going back and forth. This is where some secret animosity seemed to form, because no one is going to admit to being jealous. That's when one of DD Osama's songs had been changed, taking D-Dot and D-Play for keeps and replacing it with NLE Choppa. Most people realized that this was probably not in DD's control, more the label's control. But they did not care with D-Play for keeps sending shots towards DD. That's when D-Dot actually had an excuse to be mad at DD. While the both of them were playing GTRP, D-Dot kicked DD off the SugarHill block. That's when they got into a shootout, with DD being killed in the game. D-Dot would tell them take DD's knock, which would lead to DD getting mad. Clearly, D-Dot was not happy with DD. DD thought they were all cool, but D-Dot did not. This is a recent situation, but with these little Coco felons getting angry over a game and a decision someone could not control, it's clear that over the next few weeks, they would not be near each other. This is where tons of fans started to think DD is weird and is leaving his friends in SugarHill. Also, DD has stepped away from drill and is trying to go mainstream. I'm not going to lie, when his brother first died, I kinda messed with his music, but now I'm starting to see what everyone is saying. He really let the fame get to him, and tons of people are starting to question how he really came up and what exactly is